You sound great. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Pandora Fresh Cuts Station. The team at Pandora Curates a station that is focused on breaking artists that engage with their artist marketing platform and their account on social media. This Fresh Cuts station is currently open for submissions by posting a link to your track on Twitter and tagging at Pandora Amp Composed. Be sure to include the link to your track on Pandora and not.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's correct. Yes. Yeah, let's do it. Bandcamp. Streaming services have forever changed the way fans listen to music, and in the process, as is evidenced by this book, demonstrated a need for artists to rethink how they share, sell, and promote their music.
This Fresh Cuts station is currently open for submissions by evidenced by this book, demonstrated a need.
Still the same guy. No. Awesome. I'm ready. Cool. Bandcamp. Streaming services have forever changed the way that fans listen to music, and in the process, as is evidenced by this book, demonstrated a need for artists to rethink how they share, sell, and promote their music. For the most part, streaming services do one thing: stream your music. But imagine a platform where a fan can listen to your music and then, with one click, buy that music. Not just as an MP3, it can even be a CD, a vinyl LP, a tape, or heck, even a pin, a patch, or a t-shirt. While, technically more of a retail platform, the indie artist's beloved Bandcamp functions in some ways very much like a streaming platform. In fact, there is so much more. Bandcamp has a detailed site for artists at bandcamp.com/artists. GeoSarvan Artist 1. GeoSarvan, previously known as Sarvan and pronounced GeoSarvan, was founded in 2007. It is the Indian online music streaming service and digital distributor of Bollywood. I'll do that again. GeoSarvan Artist 1. GeoSarvan, previously known as Sarvan, was founded in 2007. It is the Indian online music streaming service and a digital distributor of Bollywood, English, and other regional Indian music across the world. At time of writing, GeoSarvan has over 100 million users using the GeoSarvan app and website across the world. GeoSarvan has an artist-facing website called Artist One. Register at artists.geosarvan.com. Register at artists.geosarvan.com to gain access to data showing where your fans are from. A cool feature unique to GeoSarvan is that it will show you other artists your fans also like and encourage you to collaborate with those artists on a future release to grow your fan base together. Artist 1 was previously known as GeoSarvan Artist Insights. Bonus tip: follow at GeoSarvan for Creators on Instagram for announcements relating to new features, tips for artists, and live masterclasses. GeoSarvan Artist Playlists. Wow, that was a weird throat noise. I hope that didn't come through. Holy moly. Cool. I'll ignore them if that happens again. GeoSarvan Artist Playlists. Once you have access to GeoSarvan Artist 1, you can create artist playlists that will be showcased on your artist profile. These playlists will first need to be created from your user account by logging in at geosarvan.com, after which you can link them and feature them on your artist page. GeoSarvan will use your current artist profile photo and create customized playlist artwork for you. The two playlists available are Artist Hits Playlist, essentially a catalog playlist showcasing the artist's original music and Artist Hits Playlist, essentially a catalog playlist showcasing the artist's original music and a way for fans to also find new releases. Made by Playlist. This is a playlist of music from any artist. It can include music the artist is inspired by or likes to listen to. This is also a great opportunity to include music by similar artists, featuring them in your playlist. They may even do the same for you in their playlists. To update these playlists, you just update the version in your user profile at geosarvan.com, and every 24 hours it will update the version on your artist profile. GeoSarvan Artist Profiles. GeoSarvan allows verified artists to add a photo, biography, and social media links to their artist profile. Add a profile photo. This should be the very first thing that you do. All photos will be reviewed before they will show on the app. Adding an artist image shows fans that you have a presence on GeoSarvan. Add links to social media. Adding links to your social media gives fans an opportunity to follow the artist on multiple streaming platforms. Add links to social media. Adding links to your social media gives fans an opportunity to follow the artist on multiple platforms. This means that when they are not streaming your music, you have other ways to reach them through social media posts. You can add links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Wikipedia. Add a bio. Biographies can be added to an artist profile, but must be emailed to content-inquiries@savan.com. Add a bio. Biographies can be added to an artist profile, but must be emailed to content-inquiries@savan.com and kept between 200 to 250 words. You can also share awards and nominations from a Wikipedia page and mention your top 3 songs. These submissions will be reviewed before they are added, so please allow time for them to become available. You can also share awards and nominations from a Wikipedia page and mention your top 3 songs. These submissions will be reviewed before they are added, so please allow time for them to become available. GeoSarvan Shorties. GeoSarvan Shorties. Shorties are high-quality short videos for songs, similar to Spotify's Canvas. Listeners will be able to watch these videos on loop while listening to a song on the GeoSarvan app. These videos are 3 to 15 seconds long and play in vertical mode to show on listeners' phones. GeoSarvan Editorial Playlists. Currently, the only known way to submit music for editorial playlist consideration is via the contact form located at artists.geosarvan.com. It is advised to include as much detail as possible about the song. Wow. Here we go. It is advised to include as much detail about the song as possible. Definitely include detail on language, genre, mood, and instruments used, etc. You can also suggest an editorial playlist that you think the song would be a good fit for. Bands in Town for Artists. Bands in Town has expanded their online tools. In 2020, the service previously known as Bands in Town Manager was relaunched as Bands in Town for Artists. Bands in Town allows artists to upload tour dates and promote shows to their 50 million registered users, as well as promoting across Billboard, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon Alexa, and more. Here's a quick summary of the current features. All artists can sign up at artists.bandsintown.com. Artists on Bands in Town now have the ability to schedule posts to trackers in advance. Real-time analytics on artist posts. A daily flow of helpful tips, best practices, and music industry news from Bands in Town's artist resource, Hypebot. A daily flow of helpful tips, best practices, and music industry news from Bands in Town's artists resource, Hypebot, and an expanded Bands in Town for Artists blog. A curated artist services section offering discounts and special offers for artist-focused products and services. Additionally, Bands in Town for Artists has a messaging platform. When a user follows an artist on Bands in Town, they become a tracker, which means that when a user follows an artist on Bands in Town, they become a tracker, which means they want to be updated when that artist is performing in their city. This messaging platform allows artists to send This messaging platform allows artists to send emails and push notifications to trackers. In addition, messages can be scheduled and geo-targeted to trackers in a specific location. Artists can also send personalized messages to fans on Bands in Town and sync them across Facebook and Twitter simultaneously. This messaging service can be used to promote almost anything, not just tour dates. You can share new music, new releases. You can share new music releases, merchandise, music videos, secret shows, and more. Social media and repurposing content, contributed by Nick Dietrich. Now, more than ever, in the history of the internet, it's vital to have a presence on social media. Whether it is a couple of pieces of content spread across socials every day, or picking your favorite platforms, really push into your engagement. Make them your own. Make them your own. Send fans to that specific platform so they know what you're going to offer. For us, with Disco Fries, our current focus is driving our Twitch streams and further driving our new website, finishmytrack.com. In 6 months to a year, those goals could change and likely will, but we will always develop a strategy so it works for a term, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. We are strong believers in repurposing content. If we do an interview on Twitch, we will take the best clips and the most reacted to clips from that stream. We will cut them down, create captions, and then share these across our other socials, which are then drivers back to our Twitch stream. We also share these on our website, finishmytrack.com, which is also the title of our Twitch stream. Our stream drives ultimately to the Finish My Track website for producers and artists to get mixing, mastering, and additional production services. I'll read that one more time. Our stream drives ultimately to the Finish My Track website for producers and artists to get mixing, mastering, and additional production services. If you think of yourself as the center of your own universe brand, whether you are a business or an artist brand, all roads should travel back to you in some form or another. Think of your social presence as your tentacles to bring people back to whatever your main focus is. Think of your social presence as your tentacles to bring people back to whatever your main focus is, whether that's a track, merch drop, or live activation. Repurposing content isn't just limited to social content. You can also utilize your song to make multiple pieces of content. Something as simple as taking a lyric or cover art and making it into canvas art can help engage fans in new ways and create new touch points for potential fans. You can also take elements of your song, such as unique elements of your vocal, one-shots of guitars or synths, and any other unique parts that you've created, and develop your own sample pack which you can then resell. Of course, then you're creating a whole other piece of content you have to get out there and market. Ultimately, you can use that one piece of content and stretch it out into almost a month's worth of product, if not more. One of the biggest and most beneficial uses of socials for us has been engaging with our DMs, One of the biggest and most beneficial uses of socials for us has been engaging with our DMs, whether that's creating a personal connection with fans or reaching out to other artists personally, versus going through managers and agents. Having a personal connection with an artist to create collaboration opportunities is second to none. Checking our DMs literally changed our career. Tiesto reached out to us over DM. He was supporting our music at the time and reached out to us asking what we were working on. We met up and he asked us to work on his album. We co-produced his first platinum single in North America called Wasted, featuring Matthew Coma. If it wasn't for us being engaged in our DMs, that would never have happened. Never undervalue the idea of personal connection with an artist. Reaching out to people directly while respecting their time and inbox space, no matter if you're signed onto a huge label or you're just an artist on the rise, is meaningful to develop relationships. Follow Nick and the Disco Fries at finishmytrack.com and at the Disco Fries on socials. Thanks, man. I hope I'm not giving you too many markers in there. Oh, I have no idea in a good way. Yeah, the challenge. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the challenging part is when it's a chapter that someone else contributed, because all of a sudden it's like, well, it's still my voice, but I'm like, I wouldn't use that word, or I wouldn't write this way, but it works. So. I appreciate that. Yeah, sometimes you have to remember to breathe. It is. All right. I'm ready. Create a great playlist. Playlists are one of the best ways to discover, share, and rediscover music, so it only makes sense to want to have one of your own. Creating a playlist is the first step in creating something of value that you can use as leverage when reaching out to share music with other curators. But first, let's make sure you have a great playlist. You have music. Even if it's just one song, it's a great song and you'd like to see it added to some playlists. The first thing you need to do is create a playlist that your song will fit into. Choose songs from artists similar to yourself or songs from a specific genre. Stuck on ideas? Here's a few to think about. Artists that inspired you to write your latest single. Songs that make you cry. Songs that you listen to while studying. Still stuck? Here's one more. Look up some of your local music venues and see which acts they are booking. After adding a few local artists to your playlists, make sure to reach out to them, letting them know you've added their music. You may find that once local artists begin to share your playlists, their fans start sharing it as well. You are a local artist too. There is no shame in adding your own music. Additionally, you are helping others in your own scene, which could lead to things outside of streaming, such as new gig opportunities. Playlist curation. Now you should hopefully have a playlist of 50 to 100 songs. Take your time here. Put the strongest songs at the start. Put the strongest songs at the start. If you are doing a pop playlist, put some well-known pop songs in the first 10 tracks. Most people decide whether they like a playlist by pressing play and skipping through the first few songs. After this is when you can take a risk. You should focus your energy on growing the followers on one to start with. I've seen artists make 20 to 30 playlists and then spend most of their studio time keeping them fresh. Keep it simple and do one playlist for now. Playlist artwork. Your playlists have to look as good as they sound. People see artwork before they click play. So boil some coffee and crack those knuckles and let's get designing. If graphic design is not one of your strengths, here's a tip. Go to a website like unsplash.com. Services like this enable you to download high-resolution images and artwork royalty-free. Once you have found a few images, go to canva.com. For someone who has little graphic design experience, this online service is a great place to start. Canva has free templates and text fonts for almost everything. Just drag your image in, change the text to your playlist name, and just like that, you look like a professional. If you have a logo, don't forget to include this in your artwork to raise awareness and maintain consistency with your branding. Your playlist to potential new fans. If the description is all about the feels people will be hit with once they press play, tell that in a brief story. This description is all about the feelings people will be hit with once they press play in 2 sentences or less. When you search for anything in Google, you type a few words to make sure you get the most relevant search results at the top. This is the same when searching for playlists on a streaming service. If your playlist contains music spanning 5 genres, then list all 5 genres in the description. For the playlist title, make it something people want to hear and show some personality in it. Examples are Songs I Cried With My Cat To, or Festival Season Bangers are clear descriptions of what to expect. Collaborative playlists. Most services allow users to create collaborative playlists when shared. Most services allow users to create collaborative playlists. When shared, these playlists allow users to add, remove, and change the order of the songs in that playlist. This is useful when creating a playlist for your band, as all members can add songs from their own devices. I used this to build the order for my debut album with my band. Please keep in mind that if these are public, anyone can find them and make changes. Only share the link with trusted people and always make backups of these playlists to avoid. Only share the link with trusted people and always make backups of these playlists to avoid losing hours of curation. Bonus tip. Bonus tip. Create a second version of your popular playlist as an archive. This will be a permanent record of all songs you have supported. Artists can discover this long after you have supported them in your main playlist, and this will direct artists to your brand. Playlists on multiple services. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have a great playlist on Spotify. Why not push the same playlist to YouTube Music, Napster, Pandora, Apple Music, Qobuz, SoundCloud, Deezer, and more. Imagine how much more value your playlist would have if it was Imagine how much more value your playlist Imagine how much more value your playlist would have if it was on all other primary streaming services. That's why I expanded my Spotify playlists to other DSPs. It probably sounds like a lot of work, but it isn't. Here are 2 services that will make your life a lot easier and save you from logging into multiple services each time you want to add a song to your playlist. Just for the record, I'm going to skip the tip about the first edition of the book and jump straight to Soundies. Soundies. This service has a web-based interface that allows you to automatically synchronize your playlists, including description and song order with adds, removals to multiple platforms. Soundies. This service has a web-based interface that allows you to automatically synchronize your playlists, including description and song order with adds and removals to multiple platforms. Soundies also creates smart links, which can link to your playlist on multiple DSPs. Soundies also creates smart links, which can link to your playlist on multiple DSPs. You can even include links to your socials on the submission form. They also provide unique URLs you can share which allow people to log in and stream your playlist. They also provide unique URLs you can share which allow people to log in and stream your playlist on their desired streaming service, even if you don't have a profile set up on that streaming service. Soundies also syncs the playlist order, so if you put a new song at the top of your playlist and remove some songs, it will sync the playlist across. Soundies also syncs the playlist order, so if you put a new song at the top of your playlist and remove some songs, it will sync the playlist order across all platforms, currently with the exception of Apple Music. It is worth mentioning that this is only available through a web browser and there is no iOS or Android app at this time. SongShift. SongShift is an iOS app for Apple devices. It offers more streaming services and also boasts an auto sync option for paid subscribers. Auto sync works well for pushing new songs to playlists. Keep in mind, this will only occur when the app is open. But you will receive notifications telling you to open the app and sync your new songs. Song positions in playlists don't sync and song removals are not synchronized. This app is good for a curator who wants to have their music on multiple services and won't ever remove songs from their playlist. This app is good for a curator who wants to have their music on multiple services and won't ever remove songs from their playlist. I use SongShift to create a permanent backup of every song I have ever added to my main playlist. Grow your playlist following. You have started to get a following on your playlists. People are listening, talking about. You have started to get a following on your playlists. People are listening, talking about and sharing your music and playlists. Now it's time to take it to the next level. When you add a song to your playlist, kindly suggest to the artist that they share your playlist onto the. When you add a song to your playlist, kindly suggest to the artist that they share your song. When you add a song to your playlist, kindly suggest to the artist that they share your playlist on their social media. In your message, you could have a friendly suggestion saying, quote, "Feel free to share the good news on your social media," end quote. Then include your social links in your signature so they can tag you. Don't ever include your personal social media links in your signature unless you want people hitting you up on your personal profiles. You can go one step further and have a pre-written tweet that the artist can copy and paste. This way you can make sure they tag you correctly and use the correct links. Bonus tip. Spotify has developed a great way for you to share your Spotify information by using Spotify codes. Bonus tip. Spotify has developed a great way for you to share your Spotify information by using special codes. Visit spotifycodes.com to find out about these codes and how they can enable you to share information and create marketing materials. Post playlist artwork. Post playlist artwork on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Tag all new artists whose music you have added that week. At the very least, you will get a like. Some artists may even reach out and ask for your email to send you more music. Either way, it is a win-win as you have a new connection. Either way, it is a win-win as you have a new connection. If you are not constantly changing your artwork, posting the exact same image every week is likely to cause you to lose followers. Short links. Use a URL shortener to turn those long URLs into something short and easy. Here's a few useful Spotify share links. bit.ly shortens any link used for your artist website. Use for your artist website, a YouTube video, social media, or almost anything online. To your profile or playlist on that streaming service automatically. For example, fanlink.to/date night links to an artist profile on all streaming services. These services offer a number of added benefits, including click tracking. These services offer a number of added benefits, including click tracking, which means you can see how many people followed your link and where they came from. The other benefit of having a short link is for posts on services like Instagram that don't allow clickable links in the photo description. You can type in a short URL that's easy to remember, allowing users to manually type it into their web browser. Gates. A gate is a way to gift something in return for an action. For example, you can offer a free download of a song, ebook, or something else of value in return for a social action. A gate is a way to gift something in return for an action. For example, you can offer a free download of a song, ebook, or something else of value in return for a social action, such as following a channel on YouTube, following a playlist on Spotify, or sharing a tweet, etc. You can create a gate using services like show.co or toneden.io. You can also create your gate by hiring a developer through a website like upwork.com. As always, do your research first and make sure your gate complies with the terms and conditions of the relevant streaming service. Bonus tip: use a gate to grow your Spotify followers. You will notice that the more followers you have, the higher amount of streams will come through Release Radar. Marketing tools. Streaming services want you to share links to your profile, playlists, and music on their platform. They also want you to look good while doing it. Here are the current marketing websites for those Here are the current marketing websites for these streaming services that allow you to create banners, widgets, and custom links to share your releases on your website or social media. Apple Music, tools.applemusic.com. Deezer Developers, developers.deezer.com. Spotify, developer.spotify.com. Tidal, embed.tidal.com. YouTube Music, developers.google.com/YouTube. What's that? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's one of those things where if it's a really long one, I'll just say search for and tell them what to search for, because yeah. Yeah, it's strange, some of this, reading it out loud and going, that's not going to translate if I read that long URL into an audiobook. So okay. Pitch your music to curators. Now that you have value in your own playlists, you might find that other curators become more receptive to your emails. Ask permission before sending music, showing respect from one curator to another. If the curator is also an artist or record label, you can add one of their songs to your playlist as a great icebreaker. Of course, be a good curator and only add music that is a good fit in your playlists. Think about it. How many times per day do curators receive emails that start with, "I'm sure you get a lot of these emails"? Just stop. You aren't going to stand out if your approach is the same as everyone else. You are reaching out to an artist or label that is also a curator. Open by telling them the following, in this order. Number 1. Open by telling them the following, in this order. You added their song to your playlist. Link. You would like to hear more music from them. Invite them to add you to their mailing list or send you new songs directly. That's it. I didn't ask them to listen to my music, and I didn't even tell them I'm an artist. That's right. This isn't about you. This is about them. Send a nice email, LinkedIn email, or Facebook DM. If they don't respond within 3 days, post on Twitter and Facebook. Share your playlist publicly and tag the artist, saying something about why you like the song and why everyone needs to hear it. Lastly, mention it was added to your playlist and include a link. If this doesn't work, repeat for the next single from that artist. If this doesn't work, repeat for the next single from that artist. Keep doing this. If you add 20 songs by 20 artists you like to your playlists, If you add 20 songs by 20 artists you like to your playlist, you may only get one response. Imagine if you add 100 songs to your playlist. That's 5 new relationships starting to flourish. Once you have a direct line to the artist, start out by having brief, fun conversations. This will be a relief for them, and you may find that they will even start writing to you randomly to get something off their chest or to tell you about their fun weekend. Now that you've built some rapport, send an email with the following in this order. Hey, name, followed by one sentence of friendly banter so they know it's personal. I have added your new song to my playlist and I've included details below. But first, I've meant to ask if you are open to receive the occasional song submission from me for your playlist consideration. Let me know, as I've got a new single coming out that would fit your X playlist. Lastly, here's a link to my playlist. I added your track to the top and will share the news on social media today. Organization is key. Once you get a yes, start building your database. It's important to note the following details: name, preferred genres, submission time lead, where to submit, link to their playlist profile, and phone number. I'm going to do that section again. Organization is key. Once you get a yes, start building your database. It's important to note the following details: name, preferred genres, submission lead time, where to submit. For example, do they prefer email, message on Facebook, or text? Where to submit. For example, do they prefer email, direct messages on Facebook, or text messages? Link to their playlist profile. You don't want to have to keep asking where you can find their playlists. Phone number. Some curators may ask you to text them. Phone number. Some curators may ask you to send submissions through text. City and country location. For example, if you have travel plans, you could grow the friendship by meeting in person. Reach out via LinkedIn. A free trial with LinkedIn gives you in-mail credits, which lets you message people even if you aren't connected. In-mail messages are taken more seriously because you've spent money to send that message, so it goes to the top of the recipient's inbox. Search for playlist curators or playlist editors. Bonus tip. Bonus tip. Search for interns at record labels and playlist brands on LinkedIn. Interns are usually found proudly displaying their job title and email address on LinkedIn, which makes them easy to find and interact with. They tend to also be more responsive to in-mail messages. The narrative, contributed by Jay Gilbert. One of the most crucial elements to any marketing plan is the narrative. The narrative is a brief story about the artist, release, or song. Simply put, it conveys why anyone should care. The press release is the obvious way the narrative is communicated to the world, but there are so many other ways today, including the artist's website, socials, and it's even required for the Spotify track submission form. I often ask clients, if you had 30 seconds in an elevator to tell some important person about your band or release, what would you say? The entire team, management, label, distributor, publicist, etc. should all be on the same page communicating the same narrative. What makes you special as an artist? What is interesting about the release? Is it aspirational? Is it unusual? Did you overcome adversity? A good narrative can be a powerful tool in getting your message across, gaining attention, publicity, and ultimately more fans. A good narrative can be a powerful tool in getting your message across, gaining attention, publicity, and ultimately more fans. Find out more about Jay at label-logic.net. How to Get Noticed, contributed by Uberjacked. As a producer and DJ, I get a lot of people asking me where they should focus if they want to get noticed. Whether it's for gigs or perhaps by a major distributor, here are 3 key things I tell artists to focus on. Networking. This is key. You need to meet people and they need to know you exist. First and foremost, they need to know what you are about. Shake hands at gigs. Send those emails. Ask fellow producers for introductions. Having someone know you is one step closer to working with them. Fan base. Fan base. You need to find your fan base of diehard fans that will wear your logo on a t-shirt, bring their friends to your gigs, and sing your praises from the rooftops. It's one thing for you to tell people how good you are, but to also have a small army ready to shout out about your music. It's one thing for you. It's one thing for you to tell people how good you are, but to also have a small army ready to shout about your music and support you will cause others to take notice. This will naturally mean more fans and will eventually get you noticed by bookers, labels, and major artists you can collaborate with. Keep your fans engaged, work out what they want, why they follow you, and give it to them ideally daily, weekly, or as frequently as possible. Music. You've already been creating, improving, and sharing your music. Now that you've got a network and a fan base, it's time to share it with them. There is no point making the best music in the world if no one hears it. There is no point making the best music in the world if no one hears it. Don't sit on things too long. Know that the journey is finishing and releasing content and music, not obsessing over one song for months because you... Know that the journey is about finishing and releasing content and music, not obsessing over one song for months because you feel it's your big tune. Trust me, you can never be 100% certain which will be your biggest song, so just put it out there and let the people decide. Find out more about Uberjacked at uberjacked.com. Music and live streaming, contributed by Karen Allen. As an early supporter and evangelist for live streaming, I couldn't be more thrilled to see how many artists are discovering it, streaming their music, and finding new audiences. The pandemic was certainly a motivator for artists to give it a try, but it's clear that it's a solid long-term strategy for independent artists. My book and course go deep on producing a channel on Twitch and growing audience there, but in reality, what I teach could apply towards Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, and even Instagram. The core products you'll use: OBS for production, and Streamlabs and Stream Elements for interactivity and off-platform monetization with your audience, work on most platforms. In fact, the big takeaway for me from the explosion of musicians live streaming is that there is not just one way to do it. Artists were activating fan bases and getting discovered by music fans and monetizing in meaningful ways on all the platforms. Where to stream and what to do there really depends on how much time you have to commit and whether you have a fan base established somewhere already. The bottom line is that building on a new platform takes patience, consistency, and time. You didn't build your Instagram following overnight, and it will be the same on whichever platform you choose to stream on. If you don't have a lot of time, then stream where you have the most followers. If you do have time to devote to building on a new platform, I still think that Twitch has the best return on your investment in terms of audience development and monetization. Let's talk about some of the bigger platforms with live streaming. Twitch. Music was a growth category on Twitch before the pandemic and has Music was a growth category on Twitch before the pandemic and has absolutely exploded since. It may seem like it's saturated now, but I hear from artists that they are still able to join and successfully build channels. You will start as a community manager, which means no monetization, but you can live stream, and work your way up to affiliate. Good call. You'll start as a community member, You will start as a community member, which means no monetization, but you can live stream, and work your way up to affiliate. Once you have 50 followers, at least 3 average concurrent viewers, and a minimum number of streams under your belt, you'll be able to become an affiliate and can charge subscriptions for your channel. Viewers can give you bits, and viewers can earn points by watching, subbing, and generally participating in your stream. You can determine what viewers earn with points. You can determine exactly what viewers will earn with points. You can also design your own emoji, also known as emotes. You can also design your own emoji, also known as emotes, that viewers can use in your channel's chat and others. This is an important tool for branding and communicating with your audience, as the chat is the main way you will talk with your viewers and create community. The next step is partner. It takes a lot of time and growth metrics to earn partner, and it's not even guaranteed when you hit them. The main benefit of becoming a partner is you get more emotes, and Twitch may offer promotional support. It's nice to get, but you certainly don't need it to do well on Twitch. Pro tip: if you are a reasonably established artist with a good-sized following, have your management contact Twitch to see if they can fast-track you to affiliate or partner, or even pay you to stream. Twitch does paid content details with artists who can commit to around 25 hours of streaming per month and bring their audience to Twitch. Twitch does paid content details with artists who can... Oh my gosh, what did I say? Oh, wow. It even says deals. Wow. Okay, deals. Got it. Twitch does paid content deals with artists. Twitch does paid content deals with artists who can commit to around 25 hours of streaming per month and bring their audience to Twitch. To meaningfully build audience and earn revenue on Twitch as an indie artist, you'll need to stream at least 3 to 5 times. To meaningfully build an audience and earn revenue on Twitch as an indie artist, you'll need to stream at least 3 to 5 days a week, 2 to 4 hours per stream. The artists I've seen really grow on Twitch will stream a minimum of 15 to 20 hours per week. The artists I've seen really grow on Twitch will stream a minimum of 15 to 20 hours per week. Don't panic, it's not all performance. You'll typically get through a half a dozen or so songs per hour because you'll be spending time reading the chat and responding to the audience. This is super important because Twitch is not just a content platform, it's a community platform. What you're really doing is creating a space where people like to hang out, and you are the ringleader of that space. It's incredibly important to get to know the other streamers and support them. Music streamers on Twitch are great at I've never heard that word before in my life. I don't co-op. Yeah. Co-opetition. I don't know why it sounded corny American accent. Yeah, co-opetition. That's who I voted for. Oh, please don't let that end up in the book. What in the name of co-opetition? Okay. So if we go back to it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important to get to know other streamers and support them. Music streamers on Twitch are great at co-opetition. Music streamers on Twitch are great at what's known as co-opetition. They will watch other streamers, subscribe to them, and even raid them when their stream is over. Sending all your audience to one stream at once is what's known as raiding. They will watch other streamers, subscribe to them, and even raid them, which means sending all your audience into another stream at once your stream is over. In turn, those streamers will support them back. I'll do that one more time. They will watch other streamers, subscribe to them, and even raid their channel when their stream is over. A raid is sending all of your audience into another stream at once. And in turn, hopefully those streamers will support them back. The music streamer community is very authentic and organic. It's important that you find other streamers you genuinely like, watch their streams, and become part of their communities. Fakeness and self-promotion is really obvious and icky on Twitch. Look for other streamers you like. Look for other streamers you like who you also think you'd share your audience with. For example, if they raided you or you raided them, would at least half of the raiders stick around for an hour? If so, that's a successful raid. Another secret to growth on Twitch is Discord. Discord is a separate platform from Twitch that a lot of streamers use to talk with their fans between streams. You will set up a server, it's free, on Discord. You'll set up a server, which is free, on Discord, and invite fans to join your server where you'll create a bunch of message boards on various topics. You can even create voice and video channels where you can talk or video conference with fans. Join the Discords of other streamers to see how they use it and get to know them and their communities better. Twitch is a lot, right? If that's all too much, then pick a platform where you already have an audience and stream there. Facebook. Facebook is getting better with live streaming. Their monetization tools are improving, and they have ticketed live streams now as well. You will need a business page that's enabled for paid live streams. You can check for eligibility in your Creator Studio. Facebook is great because people can set reminders for your upcoming live streams and share your stream while you are live. That's really powerful. If you don't have stars enabled on your page, then you can point people to your Venmo or PayPal. Just keep an eye on incoming tips so you can thank people on the stream. You can use OBS to stream to Facebook or use their tools. I recommend OBS. You'll have more control over everything and can use Streamlabs or Stream Elements to build on-screen alerts when people share. You can use OBS to stream on Facebook or use their tools. I recommend OBS. You will have more control over everything and can use Streamlabs or Stream Elements to build on-screen alerts when people share, tip, etc. YouTube. YouTube is fine if you have a lot of audience there, but I don't find that YouTube is as good as Facebook when it comes to alerting your audience that you're live. And YouTube is fine if you have a lot of audience there, but I don't find that YouTube is as good as Facebook when it comes to alerting your audience that you're live, and viewers certainly can't share the stream within YouTube. YouTube's general directory of streams live now is hard to find. YouTube's general directory of streams live now is hard to find and pretty sparse. You'll likely not get on it and have to promote the stream on your own. YouTube has a few options for monetization. Subscriptions, also known as memberships. Super Chat, which allows you to pin a chat comment at the top of the chat. And super stickers, also known as emojis. You have to qualify for each of these, and it's not easy unless your channel already has a lot of subscribers and views. If you are doing a video premiere on YouTube, I'd recommend doing a live stream there beforehand to generate excitement for it. You can even set up your stream to send all the viewers into the video premiere after the once the stream is over. It's kind of buried way down in the live stream setup options. Schedule a stream with YouTube Studio, then go to the Content tab on YouTube Studio. Click Live, then click your scheduled stream and scroll down. I said scream. Okay. Schedule a stream with YouTube Studio, then go to the Content tab on YouTube Studio. Click Live, then click your scheduled stream and scroll down and click Show More to see all the advanced settings. You can stream directly from YouTube Studio, but I recommend you use OBS so you have more control over your visual presentation and can add in features from Streamlabs and Stream Elements. Instagram. Instagram will only show your stream to your followers. There is no way to promote a stream in advance other than making a regular post. If you stream from your phone, I really recommend getting an iRig or similar device so you can connect your audio interface directly and not have to rely on your phone's microphone. There is some monetization on Instagram, but it is minimal. The chat flies by fast and can be hard to keep track of. In general, I'm not a big fan of live streaming on Instagram, but if you have a lot of audience on there, then it's worth it to have that direct touch point with them. You can use OBS to stream to Instagram. Use a service like yellowduck.tv. You will lose some functions, such as it won't allow you to save your stream to Instagram TV, but you can save the stream to your computer and upload it later manually. TikTok. TikTok also will only show your stream to your followers. Because it's phone only, you have some of the same limitations as Instagram in terms of sound quality and reading the chat. TikTok has monetization and can be a lot of fun. You need at least 1,000 followers to live stream on TikTok. If you're doing well on that platform, start live streaming there and get to know your fans. Reddit. Reddit is the weird dark horse of live streaming platforms. There is no monetization, but there are not that many people streaming on it. Reddit is the weird dark horse of live streaming platforms. There is no monetization, but there are not that many people streaming on it. So it's not that hard to get an audience if you're consistent, and the audiences can be in the thousands. There is no monetization, but there are not that many people streaming on there. So it's not that hard to get an audience if you're consistent, and the audiences can be in the thousands. Way more than you'd get on Twitch with the same amount of effort. If you post your Venmo or PayPal, you are likely to get tips. You will either go live from your phone using the Reddit app, or go live from your desktop using a RPAN, which stands for Reddit Public Access Network. RPAN is a free software download and works a lot like OBS. You can find out how to live stream on Reddit by going to their help center at reddit.com. Ticketed platforms. There are so many options for ticketed live stream platforms, and they are constantly changing, so I won't go through them here. In general, I recommend you do free live streaming on one of the platforms mentioned above and save the paid streams for special events. The point of live streaming is to build community, to make watching you perform a habit for your fans, and to provide a place for your fans to hang out with each other. Free is just a better day-to-day strategy than ticketed. Find out more about Karen at twitchformusicians.com. Karen, yeah, she went all out on that. She wrote an entire book on it, so it's, gosh. Yeah, it's crazy. My wife spends more time on there than any other platform for live streams, and it's really cool because there's so many different people on there that are just killing it. Like, there's this dude that does live guitar over punk rock classic tracks every Friday night, and it's just like, we have a party in the lounge room and we've got Reddit vertical video on the TV screen through the sound system, just sending tips to this dude sending random song requests and he's just jamming out. It's cool. Yeah. I'm just going to have a quick skim of this section because, yeah, I think let's get this one done first and then I might take a quick. Use your phone as a webcam. Many of us are going live right now, whether it is hosting webinars, performing, gaming, attending meetings, or simply chatting. Let's be real, the webcam on most of our computers sucks and the quality just doesn't cut it. While recording a bunch of videos for my online course, I realized that the quality from my webcam on my old MacBook was quite poor, not to mention that there were issues with audio sync and lighting. I ended up using my phone to record, using the flash for additional lighting. This led to much higher quality videos. This got me thinking, if phones have significantly higher quality cameras than our computers, why can't we use our phone as a webcam? So I started searching. It turns out that if you do have a phone kicking around, even an older phone that perhaps you don't use anymore, you can use it as a webcam. It's as easy as connecting it to your computer and downloading a free app. The app I found and now use in place of my webcam is called Camo. They have a free version, which is what I currently use. The free version provides 720p resolution and simply requires downloading the app onto your PC or Mac and iPhone or Android device, then connecting the two with a Lightning to USB cord. The free version provides 720p resolution and simply requires downloading the app and connecting your phone via a cable to your computer. I have tested this with Twitch Studio, Zoom, StreamYard, Google Meet, and a handful of other live stream products, and it works effortlessly. The video quality is so good that I actually sold my external webcam and now use my iPhone as my webcam. What's really cool is that if you have multiple old iPads, what's really cool is that if you have multiple old phones or tablets lying around, you can connect them all and essentially change between different cameras. It looks great, and it's also an awesome way to find a new use for the. It looks great, and it's also an awesome way to find a new use for those old devices. My hope by sharing this information is to help anyone that has been hesitant to go live due to the quality of their live setup. My hope by sharing this information is to help anyone that has been hesitant to go live due to the quality of their existing setup to get started streaming. No, still not happy with that. Let's just axe that last part, my hope by sharing this, because that seems weird out loud anyway. Cool. So we're going to axe my hope by sharing this section. All right, we'll do this page and then I'll take a break. Find curators using Chartmetric. Chartmetric lets you sift through almost every playlist and curator on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and Deezer. You can also filter out editorial playlists, only seeing independent third-party playlists. You can even filter to only see curators who have added their social media links, making it easier to narrow down your search to people. You can even filter to only see curators who have added their social media links, making it easier to narrow down your search to people who are easier to contact. Bonus tip. When reaching out to a curator, do not include any song links in your message. Ask them if they have a submission process. If they respond, thank them and follow their instructions. This will earn you instant respect from the curator because you asked them how to submit music instead of cold pitching. This will earn you instant respect from the curator because you asked them how to submit music to them instead of cold pitching, unlike everyone else. Ask permission, show respect, say thank you. Yeah. Stand up for a second, see if my legs work. Ooh. Oh man. We're powering through it, it feels like.
Camo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I have that old iPad. I don't use it for much, but
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah,
nifty.
there's Camo, and there's also another one called, are you familiar with Elgato products?
I know, actually.
So they do like different lighting for studios, and
Really?
they have like a thing called a stream deck, which is like buttons that you press when you're doing a live stream so
Got
you
it.
can change camera angles. They have an app
okay.
that's free as well called eCam. Actually, it's EPOCAM, EPOCAMM.
Mm-hmm.
And that app actually lets you use your phone as a camera wirelessly over Wi-Fi. So like you could have the phone
It's
all
like-
the way over here
Yeah,
and the computer over there, and as long as you're on Wi-Fi, it'll
Yeah.
work.
makes sense.
So yeah, it's crazy because to get super nerdy, I got the new iPad Mini that came out this year,
Okay.
and they have a thing called center stage. So as you walk around, the camera lens is so wide that it follows you and zooms in on you as you move around. So when I live stream on Zoom now, like I'll literally like they'll see my desk and then I'll walk in and the camera will catch me and I'll do like this grand entrance sometimes.
And that looks pretty slick, I'm sure.
And it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to get that for my parents because the amount of time that I see like here or something because they're not pointing the camera
Classic
at them.
boomer kind of.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's
no,
great.
I just all these little tools
Yeah.
and like I had to include that because it's like most people have an old phone kicking around, so
No, exactly.
why not
It's like
use it?
all these little tips, like everyone's gonna get like something out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like the shirt too.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
repping it, yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like I told people like you can sell merch.
Yeah.
On merch.amazon.com. So I'm like this. That's it. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if Alec mentioned anything about it. We played a band together.
Oh, he said he plays in a band. That's
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah, I'm the bass player, Matt singer. He's kind of the main songwriter. But we just kind of finished our album last month, started playing shows. Omicron stopped it for the time being, but yeah, I'm interested in talking about this. See what you got from it yesterday. Between today and tomorrow, we'll have the whole put together. So
Oh yeah.
let you know if we take anything from it. I'm sure we will.
Definitely.
Just get things going.
That reminds me of something actually.
In the age of COVID.
Totally. I actually after Alec was saying this yesterday, I was like, I should bring a copy here and leave it here with you guys as well.
Oh, that's great. Appreciate it.
Of course,
Love
yeah.
to have you sign it.
If you see my signature, you may regret that, but sure. Yeah, I mean, by the end of this, you will have heard it enough, but.
Oh, yeah. I'll grab some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run to the restroom.
Of course.
But yeah.
I might. back to it?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's 2 p.m., so that's the halfway point for today.
Yep.
You're doing pretty good.
Sounds good, yeah. Good
Awesome.
pace. Yeah. Let's get back to it if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Cool.
Cool. Pitch via your distributor. Pitching your music correctly is a fine art that takes time to master. The good thing is that you are not alone. Here's one method for getting your music in front of the editorial teams at streaming services. While this information may not be in big neon lettering on your distributor's website, you may find through some research or by flat out asking them that your distributor has contacts at most major streaming services that they pitch to. Now, why wouldn't distributors advertise that they have these connections? Because they have thousands of new releases uploaded every week. If they offered this as a service on their front page, every artist would send them a pitch. This is why you have the upper hand. You are educated, you have great music, and you are prepared. Now, approaching your distributor is the same as approaching a curator. Don't hit them with a pitch. Ask if they have a submission process for consideration of upcoming releases to forward to their editorial contacts at streaming services. Important things to keep in mind. Distributors get lots of direct emails, so be patient and give them a few days before following up. If you still don't get a reply, try another contact method. Look for their artist or label relations contacts on LinkedIn and reach out with a brief, friendly message. Distributors need lead time, just like editorial teams at major streaming services. Give at least 4 weeks minimum before your release date. For example, if your song comes out April 29, you should email them in the middle of March to be safe. Paid pitching services. If you don't have the time or need a break from pitching, there are a number of services that will do the job for you. These services vary in price and offering. Do not take these as endorsements. These services provided are subject to change without notice. Do not take these as endorsements. The services provided are subject to change without notice. Instead, consider this as an outline of the kinds of services that are available. Playlist push. This service is extremely detailed in comparison to others, but it comes at a premium price for larger campaigns. Playlist push actively removes playlists with low monthly listeners and also bans bot playlists that have a large follower count with 0 listeners. Playlist push actively removes playlists with low monthly listeners and also bans bot playlists that have large follower counts but no listeners. A nice touch here is that curators are given a follow button and encouraged to follow. A nice touch here is that curators are given a follow button and encouraged to follow artists whose music they like. The process to add a song is easy and curators may be more likely to add due to how simple it is. They also have an option for TikTok campaigns. Submit Hub. Submit Hub, a service that was created by Jason Grishkoff, who runs a blog called Indie Shuffle. Submit Hub allows you to pitch independent Spotify curated. Submit Hub allows you to pitch to independent Spotify playlist curators, blogs, and YouTube channels. If you get stuck, there is a live chat room on the site with artists, curators, and Submit Hub staff available to answer your questions. There are both free and premium submission options, which are achieved by purchasing credits. For premium submissions, if a submitter does not receive a response within 48 hours, a refund in the form of a... For premium submissions, if a submitter does not receive a response within 48 hours, a refund in the form of a submission credit is honored. A refund in the form of a submission credit is honored. Playlist pluggers. There is an extremely large number of playlist pluggers and Spotify PR companies out there. Do your research. Ask to see songs they've recently worked on and ask those artists for real feedback. It's common for an artist or label to pay multiple playlist pluggers and then only continue to work with the good ones. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. A few warning signs to look out for include free email accounts such as gmail.com and or no traceback to any team members on the website. You can also look them up on LinkedIn to see if they have real people working for them. Check out their public page on Facebook. See if any of your friends like the page. Then ask them if they have used their services. Lastly, you can comment on sites such as Reddit. Asking if anyone has used them before. If people have had a bad experience, they will gladly speak up and save someone else from being ripped off. Hype Machine. Hype Machine has been around since 2005 and is still referred to by many of my colleagues as their go-to for finding new music that has yet to hit streaming services. Hype Machine Rankings pulls data from hundreds of active music blogs and formulates it into charts. All songs are embedded from SoundCloud links, which means artists can upload music to SoundCloud even before it is released, allowing for a blog to premiere the song. It's also a little-known fact that some editorial team members at streaming services also subscribe to various music blogs and look to Hype Machine to find new artists that need to be discovered. Personally, I have seen a few artists charting on Hype Machine who are then added to popular discovery playlists such as Fresh Finds on Spotify the following week. While this isn't a guarantee, it's safe to say that being on Hype Machine will at least increase your chances of the right people hearing your music. Uniquely, being listed on Hype Machine is not achieved by sending them a pitch. The only way for your song to appear on the site is for one of these blogs to write about your song. You can find a list of all contributing blogs at hypem.com/sites. If you're up for it, you can go through the entire list and work through every single blog, contacting them individually and trying to get them to check out your song. Keep in mind that there are many artists using the same method. So for every 200 emails you send, you may get 5 responses and possibly 1 blog feature. If this isn't soul-crushing for you, then I highly recommend taking the time to do so. In Submit Hub, you also have the option to filter the blogs by genre. In Submit Hub, you also have the option to filter the blogs by genre, as well as only seeing blogs that are on Hype Machine. This means that you are now only focusing on blogs that could get you added to Hype Machine, as long as they write about your music. YouTube channels can grow your followers. YouTube channels can grow your followers. There are some brands on YouTube with millions of followers. These channels are the result of one single curator or a team of curators spending countless hours sourcing amazing music, engaging with their audience, and building an organic following. These channels have built a large amount of trust through uploading great music. It's no surprise that many of these YouTube channels have ventured into the world of record labels. Since these YouTube channels are launching their own record labels, it makes sense that they are building their following on music streaming services, especially with their own playlists. There are 2 ways that YouTube channels are promoting their playlists on. There are 2 ways that YouTube channels are promoting their playlists and gaining more followers on their profile. Description. In the description, under the visuals, you may see links to the channel's Spotify playlist, the artist's profile, and social media. Gates. Many of these YouTube channels will also offer a free download and include the playlist. Gates. Many of these YouTube channels will also offer a free download of a song and include their playlist in the gate. Ask them nicely if you can also add your streaming link in the gate. Given that the free download recipient has already decided that they want your song and like the channel they discovered it on, following you on a music streaming service should not be an issue. They get free music, you get a new fan, and the channel builds their following on another service. Making contact. Best methods for contacting YouTube channel owners can vary. Here are some suggestions on how to make first contact. In the About page on the YouTube channel, there will be a button to view email address if they've chosen to list it. Locate the Facebook fan page for the channel. If they are open to receiving messages, you can reach them here. If the channel owner has a Twitter account with open DMs, you can also try messaging them here. LinkedIn, send an in-mail message. Submit Hub, make a free or paid submission. Before reaching out, take a look at the curator's profile to see if they mention a submission process. If they say something like, only submissions through email will be accepted, respect their wishes, don't slide into their DMs on Twitter. Make money as a curator. Make money as a curator. If you already have a playlist with a following, people are probably reaching out to you on social media or emailing you their music. Why not make some money ethically while you are Why not make some money ethically while you are listening through these submissions? Here are a list of websites that welcome curators to sign up and pay you for listening to submissions and giving constructive, useful feedback. Submit Hub. Having both a free and premium option, this credit-based service allows submitters to choose specific curators to send their music to. As a curator, you get paid for listening to every premium submission and providing feedback within 48 hours. Playlist Push. For a varying fee based on genre and number of curators reached, Playlist Push offers paid campaigns for artist releases. Curators then have 2 weeks to respond and are monitored heavily to make sure their playlists have engaged listeners. Curators are rewarded a higher payout per submission. Curators are rewarded a higher payout per submission review based on their following, engaged listeners, feedback value, and how long they leave a song in their playlist. Playlist Push also allows TikTok creators to sign up and get paid to create TikTok content. Sound Machine. A background music service company supplying music to major fashion, hotel, restaurant, and coffee shop chains, as well as small businesses. Curators can sign up and make their playlists available for use in real brick and mortar stores and get paid for their efforts. Artists featured in their playlists also see potential exposure and income from in-store airplay. Curators can sign up on the form located at sound-machine.com/register-music-curator. Be aware of websites that suggest to take payment to guarantee adding a song. This is Playola. Just don't do it. We'll get into more detail in the Payola versus Playola chapter. Creating a good playlist. Contributed by Luke. Contributed by Luke. In my opinion, the best way to attract an audience to your playlist is to find a niche that is not heavily saturated. A few years back, this was the case with TikTok-themed playlists, but now it seems everyone is creating a TikTok hits playlist. If you create something that has already been done, you will find it far more challenging to get people to listen and follow your playlist with so much competition out there. You should choose a specific theme that you would like to curate for. It can be a special type of event or even a mood. Do not find a playlist already in your theme and just copy the track list. You will not get anyone coming to your playlist if yours is just a duplicate of someone else's. It's understandable that you want to add It is understandable that you will want to add a lot of popular songs already on the radio or doing well on streaming. That being said, you should also use this opportunity to insert some songs from lesser known artists to give them an opportunity to get heard. That being said, you should also use this opportunity to insert some songs from lesser known artists to give them an opportunity to get heard. Not only is this beneficial to the artist, but it's also great for the listener as you are helping them to discover new music. It's important not to use long or extended versions of songs. Any song with a long intro or outro can cause people to skip that song, or even worse, skip your playlist and start listening to another one. People bore easily. Do not buy any followers. People see right through this, and it will impact your ranking on Spotify. You risk your playlist getting removed from Spotify and having to start all over again with 0 followers. Artwork is important. Before people even press play, they will look at the artwork. If it's not attractive to them, they may move on to the next playlist. Tell people about your playlist on social media. Share updates when you make a significant update to the playlist, and tell other artists when you add them so they can share the good news. In addition to being a playlist curator, I am also an artist. By creating my own playlists, I know that when I release music, I will always have a good home for it alongside the relevant playlists that I own. This also led me to create my own online community at songrocket.com, where other curators, artists, and labels can connect with each other. Find out more about Luke at songrocket.com. Oh boy, this is a wordy one. Yeah. So it's entirely written by them. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Some of them I did actually go in and rearrange it, and they said, look, do whatever you need to. Yeah. So I've got full permission to do that with this version as well, of course. One good thing about Cheryl is every sentence is short, so I can breathe. Holy shit. Some of the other ones I was like, okay. Cheryl B. Engelhardt. The Power of Email, contributed by Cheryl B. Engelhardt. While you've got some work to do claiming accounts, pitching to creators, and the like, there's also a whole other avenue we can go down. Your fans. More specifically, your fan list, also known as your email list. People are 3 times as likely to click a link in an email than on social media, which makes your email list prime real estate for sharing your artist streaming links and letting your fans make a dent in your streaming numbers for you. Here are a few strategies specifically around using your email address, no matter how big or small, to utilize the great stuff in this book. Here are a few strategies specifically around using your email list, no matter how big or how small it is. Pro email tips. Stick to short and sweet, curiosity-invoking subject lines. Stick to short and sweet, curiosity-invoking subject lines. Leave the rest for the body of the email. The job of the subject line is to get them to open the email. Once they've opened, make sure you are only asking them to do one thing. Send them to one link. Talk about one platform you want them to follow you on. Make sure that one link appears several places throughout the email. Make sure that one link appears several places throughout the email, including in the first part of the email, so they don't have to scroll to find it. Adding in an image that goes to your link as well as a button, if your email provider allows for that, are also great ways to If your email provider allows you to add an image that goes to your link as well as a button, this is a great spot to include the link. I like to see 4 placements of your link. Don't be afraid to send more than one email in a week about the same thing. You can change up the context. For example, if you are using the week to focus on Spotify, invite people to follow you in the first email and explain that your new music will end up in their release radar. The second email can be an invitation to listen to a specific song. If you have a song that would be good to listen to on a weekend, perhaps an upbeat, let your hair down type song, send it out on a Friday and encourage your audience to listen over the weekend. If you don't have a list yet or don't know where to start, that's okay. Just watch a couple of videos on your chosen email platform, just so you can have a place to legally collect emails. Just watch a couple of videos on your chosen email platform, just so you have a place to collect emails. Just watch a couple of videos on your chosen email platform. The best email platform for you is the one you will master and use. If it seems overwhelming to send even one newsletter a year, don't stress. I've got you. First off, let's delete the word newsletter from our vocabulary. Newsletters are outdated and ineffective, mostly because we are now in a world where social media has conditioned us to expect the one topic post. We see a photo, there's a caption about that photo, and on we go. Email is the same idea. You may have many things to say, and that's fine, but if you have different calls to action, and then Email is the same idea. You may have many things to say, and that's fine, but if you have different calls to action, then the best course of action is to split those topics to different emails. Then the best course of action is to split up those topics to different emails. Focus is your friend when it comes to email marketing. Here's a step-by-step way to look at email. We'll zoom out and look at the big picture, then get into the logistics and tech. Finally, we will tackle how to grow email lists, engage, and eventually monetize them. Let's think about email in stages. STG. Let's think about email in stages. STAGES. Such a good acronym for musicians, right? S. Strategy. Why do you want an email list? How do you think connecting with your fans regularly will support your career? If you don't know the answer to this, any email you send will feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. This isn't a stage that needs tons of time to figure out. A strategy isn't a fancy long business plan. It's knowing what you want and then choosing actions to get you there. Which leads into the next stage. T. Technology. The tech of running a smooth and easy email list can be a major block for a lot of us. But with just a few minutes on YouTube after choosing your platform, you can be up and running. Your email platform is the program you use to bring in new subscribers and automate sending consistent content and updates. I recommend Kajabi for an all-inclusive experience. MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, and MailerLite are also great, but there are dozens more to choose from. Again, the best email platform for you is the one you will master and use. A. Attracting. This is the stage where your tech is fully set up and you are ready to attract the right people. In this stage, you're thinking about how to talk to your email list and where you will talk about it. In this stage, you're thinking about how you talk about your email list and where you will talk about it. Do you offer a free bundle of songs in exchange for an email? A discount code to your merch store? I like to give subscribers something when they first sign up. It's a gesture that says, I value your email and that you are giving it to me. Here is a gift in exchange. Don't get hung up on what you're giving them. Remember, it's the gesture that counts. Just make sure this thing is easily consumable. Just make sure this thing is easily consumable. Just make sure this thing is easily consumable, as in not an entire book or an hour-long video. Once you have your submission form up and running on a page that explains what people are receiving when they sign up, it's time to put that link everywhere, including your email signature, your about sections and bios in social media profiles, in the description and comments section of every live stream you do. And of course, talk about it in person and on any live videos or performances you do. People won't know about your email list until they hear about it. G, growth. This is the area that can cause another big block. Once you've got your friends and family on your list, then what? How do you expand beyond your own world on social media to grow that mailing list? There are many ways to do this, but for now, I'll focus on 3. The first is to cross-promote with other musicians that also have mailing lists. You can send an email to your own list saying something like, oh hey, I met this great musician and they're giving away one of their songs. Here's a link to go and grab it. As long as you know they have a great email list system going, you're providing your subscribers with great content and the other artist is doing the same while simultaneously sending new potential fans your way. The second way is to run ads. This is a whole other marketing beast, but ads on Facebook, Instagram, and audio ads on Spotify directing people to a short link. The second way is to run ads. This is a whole other marketing beast, but ads on Facebook, Instagram, and audio ads on Spotify directing people to a short link that allows them to sign up is a great way to go. The last way I like to expand my list is through brand partnerships. This can be with a venue you're playing at, through a brand you use, or gear company you're connected to. Making a request to highlight your free offer in exchange for whatever they need is a great place to start. E, engagement. Once you've got people heading to your sign-up form and subscribing, this one key point is important to remember. New people on your list are not necessarily fans. They are subscribers. It is your job through your email content to turn them into fans. This is what engagement is all about. I'm a big fan of automation. emails that go out automatically based on a subscriber's behavior. This is a great system to get set up because you don't have to stress every month after sending out that newsletter or broadcast. Your subscribers will be taken along a journey with you, even if you get kidnapped by aliens. Cool. The most important thing is to have a great welcome series set up so you can easily set up expectations and give them great content to keep them on your list for the long haul. Then you can set up a nurture series. These are emails that tell stories and get them interested in your journey and your craft. Be clear on what you're selling and when you will sell it. I call these the RISE series, RISE. It takes a little bit of time to get organized, get outlines, and get writing to all of these series. Yeah, I'm just rewording that in my head. Yeah, I'm thinking instead of writing until all of these series are set up. Until change to 2. All right, let's see how it sounds. It takes a little time to get organized, get outlines, and get writing until all of these series are set up. But once they are, you're rolling in email magic. S, selling. Monetizing your list and even promoting your music and streaming sites are all things you want to tackle in this stage of email. Promotion may not necessarily mean you're selling something. For example, creating a series of emails around following you on Instagram or Spotify will have a similar strategy to encouraging people to pre-order a new album. There is something important to you that will help you to accomplish a goal, and you have a specific action you'd like the reader to take. These emails are different from nurture emails, where you're sharing stories of your journey and there isn't necessarily an action to take. Wow, Cheryl. We don't want to cause promotion fatigue when we are always asking our fans to do something. This is why we want to be clear on our goal and the one main action we need them to take to help us get there. Email is one of the most underutilized tools in a musician's toolbox. Email is one of the most underutilized tools in a musician's toolbox, and the data shows it's not going anywhere soon. If you're just starting out, it's a perfect time to start an email list and bring in people. If you're just starting out, it's a perfect time to start an email list and bring people in on your music career growth. If you've got bunches of music released, sweet! You've got tons of content waiting to be shared with your future subscribers. If you have an established email list, even better. Figure out which area of playlisting you want to focus on first and bring your fans into that part of your music career. Tell them why it's important to you. They're going to want to get on board and help you. The worst thing a musician can do is tell their fans about their big goal, but not have a response to, "How can I help?" Be ready with your specific call to action and be ready to yell it from the rooftops or at least through an email. Find out more about Cheryl at inthekeyofsuccess.com. Yeah, we're going to breeze through this part. Holy cow. You can tell that she is the queen of emails. I hope I match the energy from her writing. So, all right, I'm ready. Why your pitches aren't working. Why your pitches aren't working. Ever wondered why your email pitches aren't receiving a positive response or any response at all? These are examples of real emails that have been sent to real people. The first example, you don't include a link. If people have to do any additional work to find your song, you've already lost. If they are already reading your email, include a link and make it easy for them. This is, of course, under the assumption that you have already emailed the receiver before. I always advise artists to not send links in the first email. Instead, ask permission to send music and ask the curator if they have a submission process. If you follow their process and respect their inbox, you may find you have more success getting your music noticed by them in the future. You CC multiple people in the email. If you are pushing for a blog premiere and telling someone that you sent them your track first because they are special, send them an individual and personal email. If they are CC'd, it's obvious they are not the only recipient. It's impossible to feel, quote, special when you are one of 100 recipients. You've also just shared a list of email addresses that may be personal and will no doubt see a large amount of spam if it gets into the wrong hands. Small talk in emails. What if the recipient is ill or dealing with a personal crisis? They could even be in an area dealing with a flood or extreme weather. This can come across as inconsiderate. Avoid small talk like asking someone how their family or how their health is. That's fine if you are already friends, but it's a little awkward in cold outreach and follow-up emails. Getting to the point and skipping past the small talk allows the reader to get to your music quicker and increase the chances of them clicking and listening. You attach files in an email. We aren't all blessed with high-speed, unlimited data or lots of storage on our devices for emails. By attaching an MP3, or yikes, a movie, you are forcing that recipient to download your song without giving them a choice. This slows down their email and will likely lead to your email being deleted once it has finished downloading. This slows down their email and will likely lead to your email being deleted once it has been finished downloading. I personally know people who block emails with large attachments, meaning your email may never even make it into their inbox. A streaming link with downloads enabled is far more acceptable. This can be a SoundCloud or Dropbox link where the recipient can click, stream, and download if they choose to. You tell them where to place your song in an email. Curators will make this decision themselves. This can be taken as an insult by telling them where to place your song. At the very least, it's rude. Let them listen and decide if and where it fits. Your goal is just to get them to listen. What curators look for. A common question I see on social media is, how do I choose which music goes into... A common question I see on social media is, how do you choose which music goes into your playlists? I've seen this question asked many times online and wanted to share my answer with you. I can't speak for everyone, but for me, It's all about personal taste. For myself as a curator, choosing music comes down to a few things. Production quality. Is it mastered? Does it sound good when played alongside the other songs in the playlist? Is it a good song? Is there something that makes it stand out, whether it's well written, features an amazing vocalist, or has a great story? Will it fit one of my current playlists? If a song is in a totally different genre to other songs, it can't be added. Explicit content. Explicit content. While I am okay with adding songs with explicit content on some playlists, this can be a deal breaker for some curators. Consider having a clean version of your song available as an alternative. Your distributor should be able to set this up for you. I listen to all music in the order it is submitted. Personally, I don't read press kits, bios, or even look up the artist on social media. I don't care if an artist has 100 streams or 1 million streams. If I like the song, I will add it. It's worth noting that since the first edition of Work Hard Playlist Hard, I have stepped away from playlist curation. My focus is now on educating artists through this book and growing our online community at workhardplaylisthard.com. Create a release spreadsheet. Create a release spreadsheet. Contributed by Kelly Lee. No matter what point you are at with your music, it's never too late to get organized. Make a spreadsheet of your catalog that includes all of the key information about every song you've created. It will save you a lot of time and energy in the future. Let's say that you change distributors one day. You'll need to transfer over your catalog to a new distributor, and they would need all ISRC and UPC codes. You can also include links to the release, such as song files, artwork, and notes in the spreadsheet as well. Having an up-to-date spreadsheet that lists every release, product code, and creator information, such as writers and contributors, will keep you a step ahead when needing to reference your data. Connect with Kelly Lee at kelly-lee.com. Branding and Identity, contributed by Ryden. Branding encompasses everything from your musical signature to your visual aesthetic. It's a key part of your strategy that will help you stand out. Visually and sonically, your music should look and feel like you. Who is this you? It should start with the music. By now, you've probably locked in on a certain style of music you like to make. If you haven't, give yourself plenty of time. This is a big decision that will determine your path, genre, and even your industry. You'll need to examine your influences, find out what you're passionate about, and experiment hundreds of times to see what really vibes with you. Then, if you're like me, you'll probably release some music and change your mind all over again. Once you've figured out your sonic brand, move on to your visual identity. This can include everything from your fashion style and color palette to your social media look and logo. It should help bring your music to life. As needed, bring people on board at this stage to help illustrate your vision. A good logo designer, graphic artist, photographer, and even a stylist will take you a long way. Finally, a much more elusive part of your brand will be your messaging. Do some soul searching. Maybe do a lot. What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you want What do you want your music to make people feel? Your messaging can translate to moving love songs, such as John Legend, Your messaging can translate to moving love songs, such as John Legend or Sam Smith, heart-trending angst, such as Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, female empowerment, such as Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, and Pink, social initiatives, such as Nipsey Hussle, Kendrick Lamar, and Common, or just straight-up party vibes, such as LMFAO and Kesha in her early days. Anything goes, but be clear on what's going. Figure out who you are and then let your art tell the story. Connect with Ryden on socials at @officialryden. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Now that you are growing, whether as an artist, curator, or both, you have something of value in your fans, followers, and your brand. You need to protect your social media profiles from hungry hackers who want to take over your fan page or delete your account. Unfortunately, there are shady people out there. Don't panic though. There are plenty of things you can do to make sure you protect all of your accounts. Follow these steps. Passwords. Change your passwords yearly and never use the same password again. Use a different password for each site. If someone gets to your Facebook password and it also happens to be the same password for your internet banking, you can find yourself in a world of trouble. Don't save passwords in online documents. Just assume that nothing stored online is safe. Buy a notebook, write them all down, and put that notebook in your safe. Use long passwords. Hackers use bots to cycle through password combinations until they guess your password. The longer your password, the longer it will take them to guess, and by then you will have already changed your password. The longer your password, the longer it will take them to guess, and by then you will have already changed your password. Two-factor authentication is an extra layer of security. In addition to entering your password, a short temporary password is sent to your phone and is also required to be entered before you can log into your account. App and website logins. Remember all those websites that allow you to log in with your Facebook account? Well, if someone hacks into your Facebook, guess what they will also have access to? This also applies to Google and other accounts. Whatever platform you use, search the Help Center and find out how to remove unnecessary third-party logins and apps that have access to your account. Create music for playlists. Curators add songs that fit into their playlists. Curators add songs that fit into their playlists. The song must match a specific feel, genre, or style with the rest of the songs. Think about radio edits of songs. They are short and to the point. This is for time management and to keep the audience from changing stations. The same principle applies to playlists. This is why it's important to release a short version of your song specifically catered for playlists. Before we proceed, please don't let this ruin your creativity or originality. Finish the original unmodified version as intended and then work on a short edit that is geared towards fitting in playlists. Make a short version that will fit in popular playlists with other short songs or radio edits. Look at popular playlists on Spotify with similar music to what you are releasing. Listen to them and take note of the following. Song length, is it less than 4 minutes? Intro length, is it less than 15 seconds? Outro length, is it less than 15 seconds? Song structure, starting with the main hook, vocal, or is there something that lets people know what your song is about in the first 15 seconds? It's worth noting that playing a song only counts as a stream if people listen for more than 30 seconds. If they listen to your song for less than 30 seconds, it doesn't count and you don't get paid. You need to grab their attention early so they don't skip, then hold their attention at least past the first 30 seconds and hopefully for the rest of the song. This will give you an idea of what to do for your edit. Again, don't let this ruin your creativity. Finish your song first, then make an edit. You can include both versions by releasing the radio edit first as a single, then save the extended version with your epic intro for the album. Bonus tip. If you have a really long intro for your song, make it into a separate track. This way, if someone skips the intro, your song will play next. If they listen through your intro to the main song, you get 2 separate streams tallied. For an example of this, check out Date Night's self-titled album on Spotify. Keep in mind that for an intro or interlude track to also generate streaming revenue, it must be at least 30 seconds long. It's one thing to create a short version of your song. It's another thing to create a short version of your song. It's another to create music specifically for curators to potentially make a living strictly from being on playlists. There's no right or wrong, but the latter can be a huge blow to creativity. For some artists with a very niche market, however, this may be worth trying out. Let's take Lance Allen, for example. Lance is an extremely talented guitarist and has built a large following through his beautiful guitar covers and acoustic original productions. Initially, he got lucky with the Spotify algorithms, but this wasn't enough for Lance. Instead of sitting on his hands to wait and see if Spotify would support his newest single, Lance decided to approach independent curators with large followings himself. His next step, however, was pure genius. Lance didn't pitch his song to the curators. Instead, he asked them what they were looking for when considering song additions. This is the best way to get a curator's attention. Instead of telling them what you want, you're asking them what they are looking for. Let's say that a curator responds with, "I'm looking for an acoustic cover of the new Bruno Mars song. I love the song, but my playlist is strictly acoustic covers." Lance can then go and record this, knowing that once the song is created, there is a very good chance this curator will be adding it to their playlist, especially knowing it was created specifically for them. Yes, Lance is a guitarist, but this can apply to singer-songwriters, bands, or even... Yes, Lance is a guitarist, but this can apply to a singer, songwriters, bands, or even someone that can play one heck of a pan flute. Yes, Lance is a guitarist, but this can apply to a singer, songwriter, band, or even someone that can play one heck of a pan flute. If you have a niche audience, I am sure these curators would love to hear. If you have a niche audience, I'm sure these curators would love to hear from you while supporting your releases. Yeah, I think we'll leave it in. Yeah. Oh, if people only knew how many times I said plan flute. Plan flute. Okay. Yeah. Bloopers. Woo. We'll get into that loopy part of the session. That's why. Yeah, no, that's cool. All right. Collaborate with other artists. There are many benefits to collaborating with additional artists on a song. You can achieve a different sound or simply bring on a guest vocalist. The result can be unique and potentially loved by both your audience and theirs. The best part of this comes when releasing your music. Not only will the song reach your audience, it will also reach theirs. If you have 1,000 followers on Spotify and they have 1,000 followers, you have potentially doubled your audience for the track. To make sure you reach all followers, you need to have both artists listed as a main artist. If you have one artist listed as featuring, it won't reach their audience through the likes of Release Radar or necessarily show on their profile as one of their latest releases. In short, it may be buried further down on their artist playlist. As another bonus, all main artists will have the opportunity to submit the song through Spotify for Artists. Let me check that. I said playlist. Yeah, we need to redo that. Good spot. In short, it may be buried further down on their artist profile. As another bonus, all main artists will have the opportunity to submit the song through Spotify for Artists. Bonus tip: you can currently include up to 5 artists as a main artist before the artist name will switch to various artists. If all artists involved are actively promoting, sharing, and pitching the release, you have increased your chances significantly. If you start a new project under a new alias or a collaboration, you don't have to lose your followers. One example is Diplo and Mark Ronson. Both have huge follower counts. They started the project called Silk City, which had 0 followers initially. Their debut single had 4 main artists tagged: Silk City, Diplo, Mark Ronson, and Dua Lipa. This meant that the debut single from their project would reach all of the combined followers for the 4 artists involved. With a combined follower count in the millions and guaranteed release radar placement if submitting more than 7 days prior to release, this makes for a successful release regardless of what additional support they receive. Share your art with no strings attached. Contributed by Andy Connors. Whatever your art is, music, comedy, sculpture, writing, cooking, make a list of all of the other creators you love and appreciate. Write down the artists and creators in your world who have meant something to you. They can be labels, bands, venues, writers, or even people outside your discipline. Then share your art with them. No strings attached. Don't send a demo to a label you love and say, "Sign me." Instead, send your music with a note, thanking them for what they do, for the records they released that got you through hard times, maybe even saved your life. Don't send a demo to a label you love and say, "Sign me." Instead, send your music with a note, thanking them for what they do, for the records they released that got you through hard times, maybe even saved your life, and just let them know that you wanted to share your creation to say thank you. Do that with everyone on your list. Organically, you will start to see things happen. Conversations, messages, phone calls, other people sending you their own art, collaborations being arranged, new scenes forming. ongoing exchanges of art and ideas. Built into that will often be the thing you were after in the first place. A label wanting to release your record, another band wanting to play shows together, creators wanting to a label wanting to release your record, another band wanting to play shows together, creators wanting to collaborate. A label wanting to release your record, another band wanting to play shows together, creators wanting to collaborate. Even if nothing happens, you've done something positive and beautiful. You've helped bolster your creative community. You've helped bolster your creator community, made the scene stronger, and potentially created new friendships. You've not only given your creation to people, but you've demonstrated your gratitude in the most beautiful way possible by sharing something you created with other people who will likely do the same. Absolutely continue to do all the things you already do. Promotion, PR, socials, etc. Follow all the advice in this book, add this to the mix, and see what happens. Every little thing we can do to make our world of music a little more positive can only be a good thing. Check out Andy's music at A minor forest and My Heart Inverted Flame. Check out Andy's music at A minor forest and My Heart an Inverted Flame. Shit, I didn't say .com. One more time. Check out Andy's music at aminorforest.com and myheartaninvertedflame.com. Oh boy. Words. I kind of want to say music publicity in 2022 for the sake of this. Yeah. No. I'll do that. Okay. Ariel. Music publicity in 2022, contributed by Ariel Hyatt. Publicity is valuable to you as an artist because it can help you get exposure. It gives you something to leverage within the industry and share on your socials. It gives you something to leverage within the industry and share on your socials, website, and email list for extra traction and clout. In the minds of potential fans and listeners, it is always more believable when others say something about your music than when you say it yourself. Getting included in the media is essentially gaining a stamp of approval from music enthusiasts who take time to curate music. You probably want publicity because you would like to gain new listeners and fans. You may also be looking for name recognition and notoriety. Or perhaps you are deeply curious about what music media and tastemakers will say about your music. Maybe you think that if you get enough publicity, bigger and better things will happen for you. All of these reasons are valid. However, keep some things in mind. Here's the first harrowing statistic when attempting to do your own publicity. 75,000 new tracks are released on Spotify every single day. Here's a second one. According to Muck Rack, there are 6 PR pros to every 1 journalist. In short, whether you want to hire a publicist or do it yourself, there's a lot of competition. And here is a third and very important thing to understand: the zeitgeist. Today, chillwave, EDM, and hip-hop are much easier to work than smooth jazz and children's music due to the fact that there are more outlets available for, quote, trendier music. Once a music blog or playlist begins to gain traction and solid social media numbers, hundreds of publicists, labels, managers, and artists all start vying for inclusion. In order to stand out from the masses, you have to have an understanding of how to communicate effectively, and you must also have a strategy. Music blogs and playlists frequently come and go. The reason for this is they are mostly created and run by fans who love music and are driven by passion. Sadly, passion doesn't pay the bills, and over time their enthusiasm wanes and the blogs and playlists shut down. This means that as an artist, you must consistently cultivate new relationships with outlets as you release new music. What a music publicist does. A music publicist's job is to liaise with the press. In other words, a publicist establishes working relationships between you and those in the media. As already outlined in this guide, media means blogs, playlists, and mostly online publications that are appropriate for you. As already outlined in this guide, media means blogs, playlists, and mostly online publications that are appropriate for you. A publicist will save you a lot of time and work by leveraging their contracts. A publicist will save you a lot of time and work by leveraging their contacts and relationships. A strong publicist will be able to use these hard-won contracts to get you exposure that would otherwise take a lot of time to get on your own. A strong publicist will be able to use these hard-won contracts to get you exposure that would otherwise. A strong publicist will be able to use these hard-won contacts. A strong publicist will be able to use these hard-won contacts to get you exposure that would otherwise take a lot of time to get on your own. The publicity that they place will help you establish your brand. Your publicist will increase your name awareness to key media, music bloggers, podcasters, playlisters, music journalists, tastemakers, some of whom are likely to pay attention to your music if a publicist they know and trust is introducing you. Additionally, a publicist will get you legitimate press quotes to add to your arsenal to attract more industry attention from booking agents, managers, etc. You should also add these quotes to your website, socials, and press kit. If they are strong, they will be with you for years to come. A great publicist can make your life easier and accelerate your music career. However, you should not expect your publicist to get you a booking agent, live gigs, a label, or a publishing deal. A savvy and well-connected music publicist may be able to hook you up with other industry connections, but it's not in their job description. Hiring a publicist should be like hiring another member of your band or adding a critical new member of your team, because that is exactly what you are doing. Everyone on your team has to be on the same page for you to advance. I advise to choose someone you like and who is in alignment with your vision. I advise you to choose someone you like and who is in alignment with your vision. You also want to make sure the publicist's contact base is right for your genre of music and that they share in your shirt tone. You also want to make sure that the publicist's contact base is right for your genre of music and that they share in your short-term and long-term media goals. We have all heard the phrase, all publicity is good publicity. It's beneficial to truly understand this. It's beneficial to truly understand this and the way It's beneficial to truly understand this, and the truth is, the average person remembers very little of what they read. They are not going to remember a lukewarm review or how large the playlist was that you were included on. Only what was said. They are not going to remember a lukewarm review or how large the playlist was that you were included on, only what was said or that you were included. A strong quote from the media or any playlist placement is beneficial no matter what outlet it comes from, because the quotes and the plays that are generated are yours to keep forever and can never be taken away. Find out more about Ariel at arielhyatt.com. Yeah. Wow. All right. I wrote this one, so we should be good. Holy cow. Yeah. Awesome. Let's do it. ISRC codes and your release. The International Standard Recording Code, known as the ISRC, is used to uniquely identify sound recordings. Whenever you release a song through a distributor, an ISRC will be generated. These are extremely important if you intend to release a song as a single, then also include it in an EP or album. In the following example, I refer to the single Sick Boy from the band The Chainsmokers. The Chainsmokers already have a huge following, so naturally this song received millions of streams within its first 2 weeks of release. Here's the clever bit. A few weeks later, they released their next single, You Owe Me, as part of an EP with Sick Boy. The EP was titled Sick Boy ... You Owe Me. Since Sick Boy retained its original ISRC, the new EP appeared to be Since Sick Boy retained its original ISRC, the new EP appeared to instantaneously have millions of streams. In reality, these streams were attributed to Sick Boy alone. On the outside, however, the EP looked like an instant success. They didn't stop there. A few weeks later, another single was released called Everybody Hates Me. This was released as an EP as well. This time, the EP included both prior releases, Sick Boy and You Owe Me. Once again, on the first day, the release stream counts for this latest EP Once again, on the first day, the release stream counts were combined for this latest EP. This was all thanks to the ISRCs piecing everything together. Aside from building up stream counts on a song through multiple releases, this is also a useful tool to build traction for an album. You can release a song every week or 2 weeks and give each song a chance to shine in Release Radar, Discover Weekly, and other playlists, then give them another chance when the album is released. Look at other major artists like Diplo, Calvin Harris, Justin Timberlake. You can tell they have an album coming when you see multiple singles released within one calendar month. While your fan base may not be as big as these artists, there is nothing stopping you using these tactics while you grow your fan base. Go to any streaming service and look at the top 10 songs for an artist. If you see one instance of a song in the top 10 and you know that artist has released that song multiple times, perhaps including a remaster, then it is likely to be the result of them using the same ISRC. On the flip side, if you see the same song multiple times in an artist's top 10 songs, it is likely they have changed distributors and put the song out again, not using the existing ISRC code. This means that one song can show multiple times in their top 10, leaving less room for other songs. To see how this is applied, I encourage you to look at recent releases for artists such as the Chainsmokers on your preferred streaming platform. Whew. Holy moly. Whew. Wow. Yeah. What are you thinking at this pace? Maybe an hour and a half tomorrow? Cool. Whew. Nice. Yeah, cool. All right, I'll just quickly pack up in here. Whew. Day 2. I'm knackered.